What's up guys, welcome back to another video. My name is Ebun and if it's your first time on my channel, thank you for stopping by. If you're a returning subscriber, returning watcher, I love you. You're a real one. Today's video is a little bit different from what I'm used to recording or what I'm always uploading. So I'm going to be talking about getting your study permit without an agent. Trust me, you can do this process by yourself. Please subscribe to my channel. I hope you do enjoy this video. There's also, I did like a visual representation, like kind of like a walkthrough, which would help towards the end of the video, so just stay tuned. And if you have questions and comments, video suggestions, leave them in the description box. Leave them in the comment section and I'll respond to your questions. Yeah. So let's just get started into this video. So the first thing is, I want to assume you already have admission, or if you're planning to get admission, you have to have your letter of acceptance as well from the school, and you have to, have paid before you start the process. Try to pay. If you can't pay your full fees, you can pay. It's fine. You can just pay like a semester of the fees. It's not mandatory, but it just shows like commitment. That you're really going to come here to study, and it's part of like the fees receipt is part of what you're going to submit. Another thing is just try to start this process as early as possible. If you know you like by this time next year, let's say September, fall semester, you want to already start school, have your documents and everything. The best time to start is actually yesterday or now. Let me just say now. So just start, start with the admission process. Some schools take quite long for them to respond or give you admission. Some don't take, but just try to get your admission sorted first and start this process as early as possible. Actually 3 documents that you need to download. When you get to the personal checklist, you see all of that. Application for study permits, application for temporary visa, and also family information. So those documents, you need to download it from the CIC website. And then the rest of the documents, they're your own documents, which you're going to have to gather together and upload it for the visa officer to go through and stuff. And all these files, they must not be more than 4 MB. Also check the description box. I'm going to put like online resources where you can merge, you can compress documents, because if it's larger than 4 MB, it's not going to upload. So also that. The next one is your letter of acceptance and, they wrote letter of acceptance, fees receipts. Letter of acceptance from the school. Just merge it together with your fees receipts if you're paying full, if you're paying partially, whatever, however you're paying. Or if you don't want to pay your fees at all, it's just that it's higher chances. You just choose commitment. You also need your passport, your international passport. If you have travel history, great for you. If you don't have travel history, still good for you. Just still be hopeful. I know they reject due to no travel history, which is kind of a silly reason. But yeah, they do. So if you do have, just scan your passport. Even if you don't have travel history, you still have to scan. Just scan the biodata page. Or if you do have travel history, scan all the pages that has stamps showing like countries you've traveled to and all of that information. Mesh them together in one single document, PDF, and upload them. You'd also need proof of financial support, which is like bank statements or documents that show information that you have what it takes to sustain yourself. Or if you're not the one sponsoring, so if it's your parents that are sponsoring you, your parents' bank statement. If it's your spouse bank statement. If you're sponsoring, you can also still show your own bank statement as well. Like even if your parents are sponsoring and you have some money in your account, you can show some bank statements. You can also be like what's it called? Evidence of landed properties, just things that show like your assets basically. Yeah, you can upload all those, merge them together. For the bank statements, it should be 4 months. I think it's 4 months. Yeah, 4 months bank statement, and make sure there's no like just one lump sum of money that just is sitting down because they'll question it. So yeah, I would advise for the bank statement, try to do your bank statement. Let's say you want to pay your fees today, do your bank statement yesterday. So you have your bank statement, and then it just so that when you do your bank statement, the next day you can probably just pay your fees and then do the fees receipts. You cannot do your bank statement last month and come and submit later this month. It will be a long gap. So basically, don't do your bank statement far off from when you're submitting your application. Yeah, just as easy as that. You can also use, there's this My Bank thing. I think if you just go to your bank and tell them you want to use my bank, I think they'll understand what it is. I don't really know the details, but basically they'll send your bank statement to Canadian embassy, and then they'll give you like a receipt or a certificate or something. So that verification thing, you upload it. So instead of uploading like your bank statement, because it's a lot of, I assume it's a lot of documents, it will just save you the stress. So if you go to your bank and tell them what to do, my bank, I'll try and see if I can get the name. But yeah, it's my bank. I think it's just my bank something. They'll send it to Canadian embassy, so you don't need to have all that plenty papers and trying to scan it and all that stuff. So you only need to upload the single receipt or whatever they give you when you're done. So that's just a good thing for you to do. Thank you later. You also need a letter of support if your parents are supporting you, or your spouse is supporting you, or your siblings. It would be good for them to write like a letter, just basically saying, oh, they know you're going for school in this place and that place is for this period. They're willing to support you and sponsor you, and just basically showing that they're going to have your back. Yeah, so that's just they're going to have your back and all of that. So they have the ability and the capacity to support you. So that's what that letter of support is just about. But if you're supporting yourself, maybe I don't know if you had to write a letter of support for yourself, but you can if you like, maybe you own a company or you're working somewhere, I don't know. If you're supporting yourself, probably your bank statement will speak for you. Or even if you want to, you can write the personal statements or letter of explanation stating that, oh, you're going to support yourself, you have this, you have that, from your bank statement attached and all of that. Yeah, I'm not quite sure about that. But if other people are supporting you, as long as as well as yourself, what am I even speaking? If other people are supporting you as well as yourself, the other people should also write it. Also going to need to have a digital photo. Obviously, I think with a white background. There's the requirements. There are requirements for it. You'll see that towards the end of the video, I think, or I'll put it on the screen right now. So just make sure you follow the requirements, and yeah, just upload a picture. Proof of relationship. This is very important if people are sponsoring you. So for say your parents are sponsoring you, you can show your birth certificate, you can show their marriage certificate. If you're your spouse, you can show your marriage certificate, and your siblings, their birth certificates as well as yours, or if it's extended family even. But it's better if it's like your parents or siblings or like your spouse that's sponsoring you or yourself than extended family. But even if it's extended family, as long as you have like a legit reason or a legit connection to them, you'll be fine. Or even if it's an organization that's sponsoring you, as long as there's something that actually states that, maybe the company letterhead paper stating that, oh, they're going to sponsor you for your masters. I don't know, it could be they're sponsoring you so you can come back and work for them. I don't know. So just it doesn't have to be your parents or siblings or yourself. Even if it's someone else, just make sure that there's a genuine reason. They kind of see the genuine reason. It's part of what you can explain, maybe your letter of explanation and all of that. Unlike US, Canada, there's no face-to-face interview, or there's hardly any face-to-face interview. So your letter of explanation is basically, or personal statement is basically how you communicate with the visa officer. So yeah, next one is personal statement or letter of explanation, which is what I just talked about. Just tell your story. Just tell your own story. I'm not going to come here and tell you how you should write yours, but you can, talk about why you're studying the program, how it's going to benefit your future. Most importantly, emphasize that you're going to go back to your home country when you're done. So they want to just make sure that when your time, when your document expires or when your status expires, you're not going to stay beyond your status. Does not mean they're saying when you finish you must go. We all want to know that if you don't get like another, when your student status expires, if you don't get another, you're going to leave the country. So just make sure that you highlight that fact. And you can also add, if you have a business in your home country, it's good for you to attach those kind of documents as well, so they'll see that there's something actually holding you back or tying you back in your home country, not just jackpot. So yeah, that's basically the whole letter of explanation. And any other thing that you think, try to think like the visa officer. And these people don't have time. So anything that you think can be tricky or they could, you know, raise a brow for, just explain it. It's simple. But it's actually not mandatory to write that letter. I just think you should write the letter because that's your way of communicating. But it's not like mandatory for you to write the letter. If you have this very, very simple application, you feel like there's no need to explain anything, everything explanatory. And there you can go ahead and now write the letter and stuff like that. So it's not mandatory. You also need police clearance, certificate of police clearance. I think it's at Alagbon also. I'll see if I can remember the address. I'll put it on the screen or in the description box. It's about 8,000, but I think it's based on how you negotiate. Some people pay 7,000, some people pay 5,000, some people pay 10,000. So but I think, yeah, around that let me just say between 5 to 10,000. I've had people that do it for 4,000, so I don't know. Basically, just wing it. In medicals, you can actually do your medicals upfront, or you can do it, or you can wait for them to request you to do. When they request you to do your medicals, that's like you're one leg in. They're going to approve your visa pending your medicals. They just want to be sure that you're fit and you're not going to come here with one serious illness. And also the police clearance is just to ensure that you're not a criminal, you do not do anything and trying to run away to their country. So that's just it's just basically like background information. Also, it's not just any hospital you go to do it. If you want to do it upfront, it's not just any hospital. You have to go. I'll check the link and put the list of hospitals. I know there's like 3 or 2 in Lagos. I think like 3 in Lagos. There's in Abuja. I think there's in Port Harcourt as well. I'm not sure, but I'm sure Lagos and Abuja. Yeah. So, and there's lots of people. So please try to go very early. No matter how early you go, you still see people. Just it's better you go early. Yeah. So you do medicals and they send it to IRCC, and you see it on your portal. When you log in, you see that your medicals has been received, and they should actually send you notification as well, like the hospital, that they sent your results to them. I'm not sure they won't show you the results, but we after like maybe a week or so. I don't know how it's done right now, but you should see it on your portal that you passed, and if they have like a question or problem, they could tell you to do it again or something. But the medicals, I think, was about 47,000 or 49,000. It wasn't up to 50,000. So that, yeah, you pass your medicals and just wait for them to request your passports. Then any other documents, you can add additional information, like maybe your employment letter, that where you were or where you're currently working right now. Just any additional information that you think might be helpful. You can also, if you're planning to travel with your spouse and children, you have to state that in the application. You can apply together, like all of you guys can apply together, but make sure you have something that's holding you back in your own country. Not just that you're packing, like there's no asset, nothing. Just make sure there's something that you can say is tying you back to your home country. And if you're applying with your spouse and you are the student, your spouse is going to be eligible for, can apply for an open work permit, but they'll give the work permit equivalent to the number of study, how long your school is for. So if you're going to school for a year, your spouse is going to get 1 year open work permit. If you're going to school for 2 years, your spouse is going to get 2 years open work permit. And if your children are minor, if your children are like in the minor age category, they won't need to apply like for a visa. So I think when they get here, they'll do like a visa record, but you still need to, like, when you're filling like the family information, you'll see a part that says will they accompany you, so you can say yes. So I think here, when you get to the border, I think they would give them a visitor record or something like that. They'll be able to go to school here. So the requirements is just as long as a parent, a parent has like status like an international student or is working, the child is going to be able to go to school. As long as the child is a minor. If the child is not a minor, you have to apply the process. Yeah, the study permit is $150 and you have to do biometrics. But if you've done your biometrics already in Canada. Like maybe you came as a visitor. Maybe you came as a visitor and you did your biometric before. It's valid for 10 years. So you won't need to do your biometrics again. But it's your very first time you have to do it. So $150 for study permits and biometrics $85. So that's like $235 altogether. Then I know the processing time now is 35 weeks because of pandemic here. It was 8 weeks before. So because of pandemic, it's 35 weeks. It's very, very long. See, you just have to be patient. There's nothing you can do. You can all, if you even send, you can try to send like emails and stuff. But I mean, there's a lot of applications they're going through. So you're going to have to be patient with them and with the whole process. So if what you're studying doesn't really have anything to do with what you studied before in your home country or your work experience, they want to question that. So just those are kind of things you want to defend in your letter of acceptance, in your letter of explanation. You need to defend those sort of things. There's also this Nigerian Student Express thing. I think they just started it this year, beginning of this year or so. Basically, it's just to reduce the turnaround time from 8 weeks to 20 days as at then. Now that it's the 5 weeks, I don't know how if it's still 20 days, but there's like some eligibility and there's some like rules. Basically, this kind of thing they already do it for countries like China, Vietnam, Senegal, and I don't know how some other countries like that, because they know Nigerians, we are really going into their country, so they're trying to like the process is basically to make the time shorter so we don't have to wait like that long again. But right now I don't know how long. I think it's still valid, like still 20. Here's the major difference. You have to do the English proficiency exam, IELTS, and there's a minimum of band 6 that you must get. However, I don't think it's mandatory. I think if you even submit to the number one, they could reach out to you. I think they'll reach out to you and tell you that, oh, if you want to do the Nigeria Student Express, go do your English test and upload the documents. But I don't think it's mandatory, but I think it's shorter. So you can want to explore that aspect as well. So right now I'm in the sign up. Well, I went to Google and just typed CIC login. So I'm just going to choose this first one or second one, anyone. So it should take you to this page where you can come to my application and sign in or create an account. If you already have an account, you'd sign in with GCKey. If you don't, you register. But when you're done registering, I think you'd have to come back and sign in with GCKey anyway. So register with GCKey and you come here to sign up. Terms and conditions, accept. And here I'm not going to go into much detail about creating your username and password. I think you also need to do like a security question and answer as well, which you would have to answer one question every time you log in. So here just follow, I think it's 8 to 16 characters, no special characters. Just follow the whole process and get your username, get your password, and set up your questions and answers. I'm not going to go into detail with that. I'm just going to sign into my access right now. So I'm just going to come here, apply to come to Canada. I don't have a personal reference code, so I'm just going to come in here. This is where you belong. Visa, study, or work permits. So you're going to answer a couple of questions which will help create a checklist for you. What would you like to do? Study. How long are you planning? More than 6 months temporarily. If your program is less than 6 months, you choose less than. But I don't think you even need like I don't think they'll give you like a study visa. They'll probably just give you like a visitor's visa or something. Code. Here's your country. Nigeria. Where are you currently? If you're in Canada at the moment, you have to put Canada. If you're in any other country, but I'm just going to assume you're in Canada. Do you have a family member who is a Canadian citizen or permanent resident? I'm just going to say no. Date of birth, I'm just putting a random number. December 14. Next. Are you lawful? If you are, say yes. Just going to assume no. So this one saying make sure your institution or the school you've got admission in is a designated learning institution. Check the description box because I'll put a link of the schools, list of schools or list of approved schools in Canada, just so you're on safe side. If you're married, say married and all of that. Destination, basically destination of your school. Yeah, I may be eligible, so just continue. There's like a couple more questions you have to answer. So this will help with your checklist, this one. Do you have a valid work permit or study permit and need a visa to return to Canada? I'm just going to say no. Are you an exchange student? I'm just going to say no. Is work an essential component of your study? If your work has co-op, you should say yes. Are you a spouse or common law partner or child of certain skilled worker or full-time international student? So basically, if you're a student and your spouse or your child wants to also come to Canada based on your status, your spouse has to say yes in this scenario. So I just said no for this and no for this as well. Oops. Next. Are you accompanying a family member that status? Just going to say no. If you are, say yes. This is basically where the police certificate is going to come in. We had a medical exam by IRCC within the last 12 months. If you have, I don't think you need to do medical exam again, but if you haven't, just say no. Have you visited or lived in any of designated countries for 6 consecutive months in the last year? Just bear in mind, this does not include your home country like Nigeria. So you're just basically saying, if, for example, if you schooled in another country for more than 6 months, or you went visiting someone for more than 6 months in another country, you have to say yes. I think you would also need to get police clearance from those countries as well. So I'm just going to say no. Do you want to submit an application for a family member? Just going to say no. I'm just trying to make this as simple. Are you giving someone access to your application? No. Let me just advise you, just do without an agent. Don't waste your money. But if you want to use an agent, feel free. In the past 10 years, have you done biometrics to come to Canada? Just say no. Of course, you'll be paying your fees. Yeah. So this is just because this is online. Don't try to do paper because this is pandemic. I don't even think they're accepting paper applications. So online is faster. This is just to upload your documents. So yeah, that's why I just said yes. Yes, you'll be paying with your card. So you're just going to review your answers. You can actually make any changes. You can make changes at this point, because this will determine the checklist that comes out. This is just showing you the steps. Every time you have to log in and you have to answer a security question, upload your documents, and just like I said before, each file should not be more than 4 MB. I'll put like online resources where you can compress files or you can merge files and all of that. Just make sure you check the description for helpful links and stuff. So this is document checklist. You have to download this, and this. I'll show you a brief look of how those documents look like actually. Yeah, so the first thing, these documents, just download them and fill the form and upload them back. It's just forms from Canada. Let me just go through the rest of this. Letter of acceptance. Here you can upload your letter of acceptance and the fees you've paid. If you've paid your fees, the receipts. So you can merge those together and upload them here. Here, upload your passport and which shows like all the stamps of places you've traveled to. Just do that here. Financial proof of means of financial support, all the bank statements, or if you're using my bank, so just, or any other document that shows your assets, just any documents that show proof that you have money, you have what it takes to sustain yourself basically. That's what this is for. Digital photo, if you go here, you see the criteria and requirements. Just make sure you follow these. Family information, that's a document you need to download. This one as well, document you need to download and re-upload. Client information, here you can put in additional information to support your application. Like I said, you're not going to have like a interview with the visa officer, so this is a way of dotting your I's and crossing your T's to ensure everything is, like they understand. If there's anything that might look tricky, this is an opportunity for you to explain. You can also upload merge it together with your police certificate here and upload it here because there's no space for police certificates. But all these other ones, make sure letter of acceptance is here where it's meant to be. Letter of acceptance must not be here, because these people don't have time. So if your document is not where they've stated it should be, that's another story. Like it might get denied because they don't have that time or patience to help you sort out your documents. Any other additional information that you want to upload the document but you don't see fit here, you can do it in client information. So that's what this is for. Like I said, $150 and $85 for biometrics, and yeah, just upload your documents and you can submit. So this is the application for a study permit made outside Canada because you're not in Canada. Just fill in the form. This UCI, you can leave it blank if this is your first time applying to Canada as a visitor or student or whatever. If you've not made an application to come to Canada before, you will not have a UCI. So just leave it blank, but the rest you're going to fill. I'm not going to go through this one by one because that's long, but it's pretty explanatory, and you can sign. Just write your full name and select the date here today. So you don't have to print this page, sign and rescan and start merging and all of that. So just sign, write your name and do that. And make sure before you close this document, click this validate. Once you click this, you should see yes. Come here. Make sure you click validate. So just fill this form, save it and re-upload. I'm just going to open the next one. So this is application for temporary residence. This as well has the validate. So make sure you do that. Validate and save. Just fill this form. This one is much shorter. The other one is longer than the rest. So either you validate up or you validate down. You don't have to click both. So just click one. If you don't do it here, you can do it below. And that's for that. The last one is family information. You would also see where you can state if your family members, your spouse or your children are going to come with you to Canada. So if they're going to accompany you, just click yes. If they're not going to accompany you, just click no. So you need their information and occupation and all of that stuff. You can also just sign here. You don't have to print and rescan or stuff like that. So yeah, that's pretty much this whole process. So there are just 3 forms you have to download, and so you have 3 forms you have to download, fill and re-upload, and the rest you'll need to provide your documentations for that. I hope this video was pretty explanatory, and I hope this visual representation really helps you guys. If you have questions or comments or whatever, just let me know. Put it in the comments and I'll try to reply as soon as I can. So hope you did enjoy this video, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.